All right, guys, let's get into these predictions. So let's see. Last week, Thomas did a better job than me and TJ, but due to kind of bringing things kind of up at the end, me and TJ kind of ended up with, I think, breaking even on the week. So it didn't end up too bad, but Thomas is still leading on the overall record this year, 48-37. Now, that is including the Thanksgiving slate of games because we did our predictions. If you saw that little, that short little video we did for the Thanksgiving predictions, um, the Washington football team beat the Dallas Cowboys, which I correctly predicted. Thomas incorrectly predicted. However, he got the Houston Texans beating the Detroit Lions right, and I am done believing in the Detroit Lions. I'm sick and tired of your shit. Stop it. I certainly ain't picking them the rest of the year because I am sick and tired of that.
I've got to cheat on my prediction because, like, I see your prediction. I just went with the opposite prediction that you made.
Now hold up a minute. Didn't you? Oh, well, yeah, that's right. Because I sent you my predictions, right?
Yeah. No, I'm joking. You know what I said. Actually, I was if the whole video was cut, but I was like, knowing Kyle, he probably picked the Lions, and that usually don't work well for him. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Texans. That's the full video. That's not saying the full video. And man, I was like, oh, he did pick the Lions. That goober.
Well, you know what? Like I said, I don't believe I don't trust them anymore. I did the same thing with the Falcons, by the way. I believe I kept picking the Falcons to win, and then they just kept not winning, and I was like, all right, you know what? I'm sick of your shit. So let's go ahead and
Falcons are the Falcons are the most entertaining losers I've ever watched in my life, dude. Like
the Falcons are straight trash, man. There's nothing good except they're funny. They are funny. I'll give them that.
Very entertaining.
Yeah. So, but anyway, let's go ahead and jump into these games. I guess as we always save the AFC North games for last, so we'll start out with the Houston Texans and the New England. Oh wait, no, that's last week. I'm dumb. Ignore me. We're gonna start out with the Buffalo Bills hosting the San Diego Chargers. Wow, the Los Angeles Chargers. Who do you got for this game, Thomas?
You having fun there?
I don't know, man. I'm halfway through my beer, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just like it's suddenly a lightweight after having literally never been one in my life. But I'm suddenly such a lightweight that I can only handle half a beer. That's what's going
on. Give me a. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Buffalo. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Buffalo. Oh, hi.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi.
Puppy.
All right, well, we got a friend with us. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Buffalo. I just for the obvious reasons, Buffalo is the better team. Don't got a lot to say about it. Just going with the better team here.
No, I completely agree with you, and I completely agree with the simplicity of your explanation as well. Buffalo is the better team, and there's not really much else to say. Justin Herbert, however, I don't think Justin Herbert's going to be enough to take on the Buffalo Bills, who are just an all-around good team. And you've also got Josh Allen, who generally plays pretty well. But even aside from that, the Buffalo Bills are an all-around good team. So I agree with you on that one. Quick, simple, easy. How about the Tennessee Titans going to Indianapolis to play the Colts in what could be a division-defining game, but like we said on the podcast, is at the very least likely going to be a game that automatically vaults the Browns into the number 5 playoff seed.
I don't see the Colts beating the Titans twice. I'm gonna go with the Titans because I just don't see the Colts beating the Titans twice in a year. I just don't see it. I just think that I think that when you see a team twice, the second time they're gonna see them, I think the Titans are gonna be probably a little more prepared, and they're probably gonna take the Colts a little more seriously.
Mhm.
And you feel that heat at the playoff race. I think they're going to make this a little more interesting going down the stretch. So I want to go with Titans.
For me, I'm not too worried about who wins, who potentially sweeps who, and who potentially splits with who. For me, I just think that the Indianapolis Colts are the hotter of the two teams right now. The Titans
Yeah,
have been playing kind of not amazingly lately, and the Indianapolis Colts, who have a really good defense, as we've been seeing all year, I could totally see them handling Derrick Henry pretty well. And I don't know. I'll take Philip Rivers' experience over Ryan Tannehill, and especially with the fact that the Colts have been playing much better than the Titans in recent weeks. Um, I wouldn't say that I would by any means make the Colts my lock or anything like that. If we were
mm-hmm.
doing that, I think that this game could probably go either way, but I'm probably going to take the Indianapolis Colts at home over the Titans.
Yeah, I agree. I see what you're saying. I'm
So
gonna stick with the Titans here.
okay,
I'm gonna stick with the Titans.
all right.
I don't know. I don't know. It's so hard to be a team twice. I don't know. I just have a hard time saying that if you don't stop squeaking that ball. I'm sorry, that was mean. Sorry, I love you. But stop. But I love you. Sorry, you're watching a sacred bond between a man and a dog. Anyway, I just don't see the Titans losing twice to the Colts. With that said, obviously Nyla don't agree with me here. Nyla here don't agree with me that the Titans could beat the Titans could beat the Colts. But I think the Titans are going to beat the Colts because I can see the Colts beating the Titans 2 times in 1 year. That's
So
that's
what you're
that's it. That's
saying?
all I got for y'all.
So what you're saying is Nyla agrees with me.
Yes, Nyla agrees with you. You want to give the dog
Done.
predictions? She is
Done.
making predictions. I tell her your game prediction for each game by her response.
All right. So next game is the Miami Dolphins playing a high school football team. I mean, the New York Jets.
I would say this. The Jets actually have a chance to beat in the Dolphins. They have a chance. Now, I don't think they will. Because I think the one thing about the Dolphins, I think the Dolphins aren't. We talk about teams not being as good as their record. I think I think there's a lot to say about the Dolphins. I mean, they're 6-4, but at the same time, they got hot, and I think you're gonna start to see them cool down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's gonna be this game though. I think the Jets have a chance because I think the Jets are going to try and do whatever they can to go 0-16 because you're not going to go 0-16. But I do not think it's going to be. I do not think it's going to be this game that they win. I think it's going to be the Dolphins game to win. And another step.
I have been saying it all year. I've been saying it since before the season began, and I have not been wrong on the Jets yet. I'm picking the upset.
You're picking the upset? Okay.
I am picking the New York Jets because Joe Flacco will be starting at quarterback, and the Jets are competent, dare I say, to an extent when Joe Flacco plays at quarterback. They almost had the New England Patriots. They did pretty well against the Buffalo Bills. Now, obviously, they didn't win either of those games, but I think that with the Dolphins, like you said, they're going to be cooling down. I think they're already starting to cool down. I think Tua Tagovailoa got benched, and that was indicative of the fact that maybe he wasn't quite ready for the NFL in the first place. Not to say that he should have stayed in college, but that's to say more so that I think maybe he spent a lot of work rehabbing this offseason instead of getting prepared for the NFL.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm making that up. I don't know. But either way, I think the Jets right now, to me, look like a better, more prepared team than the Dolphins do. Now, you've got Brian Flores, and he's a really good coach. And it would be – this is another one of those, like, trap game scenarios that Brian Flores does not seem like the type of coach who would let his team fall victim to a trap game like this. But it just seems like everything's lining up to where the Jets are the hot team right now, or at least the Jets have not looked like the Jets have all year in the last couple of weeks, and the Dolphins have cooled down a little bit, just a little bit, but they did lose to the Broncos. And I'm not saying that the Broncos are as bad as the Jets, but I also have never thought that the Jets were going to go 0-16 this year. I thought there'd be one game they would win. I thought it would be 1-15, and all year I thought this was the game to do it. So I'm picking the Jets.
Well, they're playing at MetLife.
That's also true. They're in New York.
Is it too late for me to change my? You talked me into it. Cause I don't, cause even when I first pulled this game with my screen, I was thinking about it. I'm like, I can realistically see the Jets winning this game, and I forgot about the Joe Flacco fact. Honestly, the Jets aren't my team. Of course, I'm not thinking about the Jets that much.
You're right.
I forgot they bent Sam Darnold, and you got a point. They have looked more confident under Joe Flacco. The Dolphins are coming off a loss. It's really they just had to pull back to start a quarterback. They announced who's going to start this game, Fitzpatrick or Tua.
I would imagine Tua because Brian Flores did say that Tua was the starting quarterback going forward. I don't know if they've specifically announced who's going to start, but I'm pretty sure, unless they say otherwise, it's Tua.
Stop.
Although he's questionable with a thumb injury, so yeah, okay. So if Ryan Fitzpatrick plays, then I don't know. I can't do that. I can't make a conditional prediction. I'm picking the Jets, although I will say if Ryan Fitzpatrick plays for the Dolphins, then I don't think the same thing applies. I think if Tua plays for the Dolphins, then the Jets definitely win. I think if Fitzpatrick plays, I can't do a dual pick like that, but I would be not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins win anyway, but I would be less confident in my pick if Ryan Fitzpatrick is playing than if Tua is playing.
I'm gonna switch my pick to the Dolphins. I'm not the Dolphins, to the Jets too. I think it's really hard. Going back to my last theory about it's hard to beat a team twice in a year. What's even harder to do is go 0-16 on two teams in history have done it. So I think Joe Flacco could catch lightning in the bottle this weekend. Jets could put together a couple of good drives and possibly pull this one out. So I'm gonna go with the Jets still. I won't agree with you. I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna switch my pick.
I know it probably sounds crazy to most people listening right now, but when you really think about it, it just seems like if the Jets are gonna win any games at all this year,
you gotta be this game.
It's like I mean after this, let's see, the Jets, they got the Raiders next week, they got the Seahawks the week after that, they got the Rams the week after. Jesus, they got the Browns after that. They got and they finish up with the Patriots. So this might be their last chance to win a game.
Yeah.
Except maybe week 17 against the Patriots.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't know. I've never felt like the Jets were a true 0-16 team all year. I thought they're bad enough to be an 0-16 team, but I always felt like it's one of those teams that would put it together at some point enough to pull out one single win. And that's what I said at the beginning of the year. I predicted the Jets would be 1-15, and this is the one for me. So next we got the Houston. No, that was a Thursday game. Next we got the Las Vegas Raiders traveling to Atlanta to play the Falcons. I'm not particularly interested in this game at all. I don't think I'll be watching it. I'll probably catch up afterwards, but I mean,
I'm not watching this game.
Falcons
either.
are bad, and the Vegas Raiders are good. So I don't really. There's not really a whole lot else to say about this. The Raiders are probably going to win.
Yeah, give me the Raiders. I'm not going to. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Give me the Raiders. If the Raiders is going to win a game, give me the Raiders.
I picked up Derek Carr as a backup quarterback in fantasy. That's
See, I meant to do that and I didn't. So,
yeah.
there's that.
I actually people got really mad at me. No, one guy in my fantasy league got super mad at me for doing that because apparently due to like some weird sort of rule, I was actually able to do it. I was able to drop Joe Burrow after he got hurt and then
Mhm.
pick up Derek Carr, even though Joe Burrow had already played his game. Um, and the guy got super mad at me, even though Joe Burrow was my backup quarterback, and I was picking up Derek Carr to be my backup quarterback, and Kyler Murray had already played, and I couldn't sub him out anyway. This guy got so mad at me that he literally, like, no, I'm not going to call anybody out. I'm not actually going to put it on the screen, but just suffice to say, this guy, and if anybody from my league is watching, you know who I'm talking about. I can't imagine this guy's watching, but he got so salty that happened that he literally benched every single player on his team in protest. And right now he's 3-7, so I think he's just personally salty that his team sucks. But um, he benched every single player on his team in protest, and so the next two games are just automatic wins for whoever plays him. By the way, I play him next week. So I guess that really worked out for you then, huh, dude? Um, but yeah, anyway,
Shout out to
Raiders
you,
are probably
dude.
gonna win. Do you also pick the?
And look,
You're also picking the Raiders, Thomas?
yeah, I'm taking the Raiders. I'm not going. Why would I not pick the Raiders?
I don't know. We spent the whole time talking about other stuff because this is just not an interesting game.
Yeah,
So
no, give me the Raiders.
yeah, just to make sure that I have this correct, you picked. No, that's next week. You picked the Bills, right? You picked the
Yep,
Titans.
yep,
You picked the Jets. You changed your pick to pick the Jets.
yep,
You picked the Raiders, and that's all
yep,
we've done so far.
yep.
Okay, so just trying to keep track of it with Ray Lenhoff's playoffpredictors.com. And the main reason I shout them out is because I'm using his thing and it's on the video, and I don't want him to come on and be like, oh, how dare you use my thing without giving me credit. But also, it's a really good thing, and I can't afford to donate to. I believe it's Patreon. I can't really. I don't have any money to give. So
Hey
this is my
man,
way of trying to help out and get the word out. So it's a really good website if you guys want to try it. It'll help you play along with playoff scenarios and stuff like that. But anyway, next game we got the Arizona Cardinals traveling to Foxborough to play the New England Patriots.
ooh, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. I want to go to the Patriots this game actually.
Wow.
Because if you don't stop doing that,
Get out of here.
anyway, I'm sorry. It seems that Bill Belichick does a great job at containing these running quarterbacks or scramble quarterbacks. Obviously, Nyla doesn't agree with me. She thinks the Cardinals are going to win.
Oh.
So there's that. But Bill Belichick has done a really great job. Just go back and watch that Ravens game where he did a complete job playing against quarterbacks who are great with scramble. So Bill Belichick, he knows what he's doing. And they're playing in Foxborough. So I'm gonna go with the upset here. I'm gonna go with the Patriots.
The way I see it, Bill Belichick is probably the greatest coach of all time. At least the greatest coach general manager hybrid of all time.
Definitely.
Which is I think certainly worth at least like 4 or 5 wins a year just based on how great of a head coach he is. But I don't think it's enough to win every single game against good teams. I think the Ravens are a little overrated this year. And that's part of why they're, a 4-loss team right now and potentially going to be a 5-loss team depending on how this week goes. But I don't think the Arizona Cardinals are quite a team like that because I think Kyler Murray, who was questionable on the injury report, but now has actually been cleared to play. I think Kyler Murray is just going to have a field day against that really not so great Patriots defense. And
Yeah.
I agree with Nyla here.
Yeah. Well,
Cardinals.
Nyla got a lot of energy. Here, I'm gonna give her a treat real quick. Give me like a minute and a half.
All right.
I'm gonna give her a treat.
In the meantime, all you Battle of Ohio podcast listeners, I would like to bring in a special guest to help us talk about this New England Patriots Arizona Cardinals game. Here, I need you to come here. I need you to come here. Okay, say hi to all the people.
Hi.
Yeah. Who's going to win between the Arizona Cardinals and the New England Patriots?
No one will ever love you.
Got him! Got him!
Wow. Okay.
How does that make you feel?
Okay, that was not very nice. So that actually sounds like a vote for the Patriots because that sounds like something Bill Belichick says to his players. So I guess, yep, that's a pick for the Patriots. But so this Thomas, and he picked the Patriots, and me and the dog picked the Cardinals. So we've got an expert panel on the Battle of Ohio podcast right now. Expert panel between a teenager, a dog, and two Homer fans.
Okay, where were we?
Well, we actually just finished up. We got it's a 2-2 call on the Patriots and Cardinals. Me and your dog are picking the Cardinals, where you and my sibling person you guys are picking the Patriots. So
all right, let's go.
So let's. But
shout
anyway,
out to the sibling person.
What?
Shout out to the sibling person.
Yeah, the teenager.
God, teenage years. I remember teenage years. I remember being a teenager.
I don't
class, just being in class, and well, I won't keep it PG.
What were you doing in class that wasn't PG?
See, it wasn't what I was doing. It was what I was thinking. Like when you're a teenage guy,
well,
there's not a second of appropriate. There's not a.
Not even
probably
a minute,
like
no.
Yeah, 90% of my thoughts were probably inappropriate when I was a teenager.
Yeah, it was. I think the same way for all of us. Terrible, terrible things that go through the teenage mind. But anyway, terrible, terrible things that occasionally go through the New England Saints coaching staff. One of which is the New York Jets defensive coordinator. Ha. See, I tied it together. Greg Williams. Anyway, Saints versus Broncos. Who you got?
Oh, thanks. I am believing in a Tyson Hill magic. Drew Brees ain't gonna be back in this game, will he? Taysom Hill. Yeah, I mean he looked good last game actually. You know he
Yeah, I believe Taysom Hill. Yeah, I think Drew Brees is on IR. So
yeah.
I don't think he's probably not coming back until the very end of the season at best.
Well, I know their schedule is kind of light here, so they should be able to take care of Denver pretty handedly. Drew Luck have looked good the last couple of weeks, but the Saints seem to have a pretty tight grip on this. I think the Saints are going to win this game pretty handily.
Yeah,
Going back and forth with this, huh?
Okay, so originally I was gonna pick the Saints, but I don't know. Like the Broncos looked pretty good last week, but I'm not gonna buy into the hype just yet. I think I'm gonna agree with you that the Saints are gonna win this game. Just overall, they've been a much more complete team all season than the Broncos have, and before I start really believing in the Broncos to be this team that kind of starts, putting together wins and starts looking like a team worth paying attention to, I'm going to need to see a little bit more. If they beat the Saints, then I'll start believing in the Broncos. But I don't know. Right now, I think the Saints are just too complete of a team. So I agree with you. I'm going to pick the Saints.
I mean, Drew Luck isn't. No, I'm not gonna finish that sentence. I'm not gonna finish that sentence. I mean, he could be worse. That's what I want to say about Drew Luck. He could be worse. He showed flashes.
He's shown flashes, and I think unless the Broncos were picking like number 1 overall, I think that they should just keep going with Drew Lock going forward. Now, obviously, if they had bottomed out and ended up with Trevor Lawrence, with the potential for Trevor Lawrence, then I think you just get Trevor Lawrence and kick Drew Lock to the curb. But I think at this point, knowing that they're not going to get like at best they're going to get like Trey Lance maybe. I would say just stick with Drew Lock and use your top picks on something else. Next up,
you
we got
reminding
the
your business
Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now this one could be a good game.
Yeah, it can be. But I'm throwing my stock for the for Tampa Bay has been going down.
Yep.
A lot. And we talked about MVPs last week, and we didn't talk about Patrick Mahomes enough. Honestly, Patrick Mahomes probably won't be the MVP. I just think this is the opportunity for Patrick Mahomes for him to just nail it to Tom Brady. And I know that he is just licking his chops.
This is my league now.
Yeah. He's looking at his chops at the opportunity to just nail it to Tom Brady, so I think he will. So I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs.
I completely agree with you. The Buccaneers have shown flashes this year of brilliance, but they've also shown flashes this year of whatever the opposite of brilliance is. Bad. They've shown flashes of bad. And I don't know if they're going to be bad against the Chiefs. I think this will be a really interesting and fun matchup to watch this week. However, I think that the Chiefs are the more complete, consistent team, and I would be pretty surprised if the I'd be pretty surprised if the Chiefs didn't win this game. So
by the way, I'm having fun with this dog.
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, I love dogs. I like this dog is adorable.
Yeah,
like she's adorable, but like
what kind of dog is that?
I believe it's some form of a pit bull. Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you looking at me like that? Thomas, you have a drinking problem. No, I'm not joking this.
Moving on, we got the Carolina Panthers traveling to Minnesota. Oh. Carolina Panthers traveling to Minnesota to play the Vikings. Two not performing where they really could be teams. Two teams that I thought were going to be better this year that both just haven't really put it together the way that I thought they could. You basically got is Christian McCaffrey's back, right?
I do believe so.
Yeah, so you got CMC versus Dalvin Cook. So, and then you got
that's gonna be fun.
You've got the future half disintegrated version of Teddy Bridgewater going against Kirk Cousins. So not much to speak of as far as quarterbacks go, but great running back matchups in Minnesota. So what's your call on this one?
Well, they Carolina. First of all, I'm going with Carolina. Carolina, they actually didn't look bad against the Lions. I think the Vikings are probably in the same breath as the Lions, honestly. Excuse me. So PJ Walker, man, 28 for 34, 250 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. He didn't play bad. He didn't play bad at all. I think he's gonna take another step forward against the against this Vikings team. I just don't trust that Vikings defense. The Vikings win any game as long as they have Dalvin Cook, but I think the running backs neutralize each other. So I'm gonna go with the Panthers. By the way, did the Panthers have a bye week yet? No, they haven't. Yeah, this is the game before the bye. Actually, you know what? No, I'm switching my pick. It's the game before the bye. only because it's the game before the bye. I'm going with the Vikings. It is
Are you
so
going with
hard to
Vikings?
win a game before the bye. Yeah,
Okay.
because I'm just going like I'm basing my picks off of logic, like off of like just like standard NFL logic. I don't know. I'm going back and forth with this one. Uh, ugh. I'm having a tough time with this game. Um, it just bothers me that the Panthers haven't had a bye week and it's going to be week 12. Week 12, like that's a long time to go without a bye week, and you know those players are thinking about that bye week and they're not playing for anything anymore.
Yep.
Man, that's tough. My gut tells me I should go with the Panthers, but my brain's telling me I should go with the Vikings. That's where I'm at right now. So I'm very split. What do you think? Let me get your opinion first.
Well, I'll just tell me. I'll tell you what do you always tell me to go with my gut.
Okay.
Yeah. So if your gut's saying Panthers, I don't know. My gut is saying the Vikings.
Okay.
I think I think the Vikings are just a more consistent's the wrong word. But they're one of those teams that can really grind you down and just and kind of like beat you into a pulp. Not necessarily by really putting together a strong performance, but just by like outlasting you. And the Panthers can do that too, but I think the Panthers are a little bit more dependent on. I think the Panthers are a little bit more of a hot cold team, and I think especially at home, I think the Vikings just kind of grind this one away. It's not going to be a very exciting game to watch. I don't think. Maybe PJ Walker can put up some interesting magic, but I think it's going to be one of those like old school style football games where it's just about grinding it away.
All right, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna go with the Vikings too. I think the Vikings can win this game. And the Vikings are still a competent team. And actually, the last couple of weeks they have looked better than they did with that slow start. So I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna that bye week thing bothers me too. So I'm gonna go with the Vikings, which means the Vikings would have won 4 out of the last 5 games. Head into Jacksonville with a chance to get back to 500. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Vikings too. I'm gonna agree with you, the Vikings.
All right. So then, next game we got up on the schedule is a potentially interesting divisional matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers.
Got you. My first question is, what is the San Francisco 49ers health looking like?
As
So
bad
they're
as,
still
as bad as it has all year.
And then my answer is going to be the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah. No, I don't think there's any question about this. The Los Angeles Rams, like you said, are healthier even without Andrew Whitworth. They're just generally healthier. They're also playing really well lately. I don't know. I don't see too many. The only thing is if the Rams have just been playing maybe too well lately, and they just kind of get a little sloppy because of that. I've occasionally seen that kind of happen with the Rams, where it's like they seem like they kind of start thinking that they're just hot shit, and then they forget to like really take games seriously. And I'm sure that's not what happened. These are professional football players. I'm sure they took every game seriously. It's just when you're watching the Rams, it's like, half the time it really feels like they should be better than they really are. And I think if the Rams lose this game, it's going to be because of that. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I just think the Rams is going to win. I just, it kind of sucks because the 49ers are, they aren't a bad team. Kind of, they come off that loss in the Super Bowl. Losing in the Super Bowl is like a curse, man. It's like a curse. Like I swear, it just hasn't been good to anybody in the last 10 years, 20 years, really. But those injuries, man, them injuries just biting them on the ass. And they're not a bad team at all. They're not a bad coach team or anything. It's just that when you have that many injuries and that many key players, against a team like the Rams, who have a chance to win the NFC, I'm going to have to go with the Rams, unfortunately.
And for all of the hype that the 49ers got this year as, a potential dark horse team, at least as far as the offseason is concerned, that will put the 49ers at 4-7 on the season. So
Yeah.
what a waste of what really could have been something special, I think. Yeah, it's a shame though. God damn it. It's a shame though because it's the reason that they're in this position is just because they've been so injury riddled, and you can see Kyle Shanahan's coaching his ass off, but it's really hard to overcome a lot of the setbacks that they have.
Yeah.
So
Would be worse.
Next
be
on
worse,
the schedule, we got the
Okay.
fake ass Chicago Bears, who were once undefeated, by the way, I believe. I could be wrong about this, but I believe the Bears are on a massive losing streak right now after starting like 5-0 or something crazy like that.
That's fun.
According
that's
to ESPN's schedule, the Bears, they started off 5-1. They did lose to the Colts, but they started off 5-1. They've lost all 4 of their last 4 games because the Chicago Bears are fake ass trash.
Oh, Chicago. Oh, Chicago. Look, first of all, I want to say I'm sorry, Father, because my father's a Bears fan. So I'm sorry, Dad. I don't know what to make of this Bears team at all, but I tell you what, I won't make them a winner this weekend because the Packers and Aaron Rodgers is going to just pass all over that ass.
Yeah.
So,
I will say the Packers have a habit of playing down to inferior teams, and I mean the Bears do have a good defense, so I don't know. If the Packers lost this game, I wouldn't be shocked. I would probably laugh, but I wouldn't be shocked.
Bears are coming off a bye week. Did they even announce who the starter was for this game, Trubisky or Foles?
Most likely Foles. I can't imagine they're going back to Trubisky.
Yeah. So either way, it's a night game. It's a Sunday night game.
They're starting Trubisky.
They are?
Yep.
Okay. Sunday night game against the Packers after a bye week. I mean, I give them a fighting chance, but I just don't see the Packers losing this game. Yeah. Especially with Aaron Rodgers in prime time. No, I don't see the Packers losing this game at all.
Well, you know what, Thomas? I am 11 games behind you right now in the record, so I think at this point I'm just kind of taking shots in the dark on things that I think might be a possibility. I think I might have just talked myself into picking the Chicago Bears in this game. Because like I said, the Packers have a habit of playing down to inferior opponents. The Bears aren't good, but they had a great record when Mitchell Trubisky was their quarterback. And it's not because Mitch Trubisky's good, but there is a possibility that the Chicago Bears start winning again when Mitch Trubisky is starting a quarterback, and then the Bears are basically forced to keep Mitch Trubisky as their quarterback. What a nightmare scenario. But I am going to pick the Chicago Bears with the upset this week.
Yeah,
just because I love chaos.
Well, I am. Well, Mitch Trubisky is from Mineral, Ohio, and I am currently in Mineral, Ohio. So I'm in your hometown. Telling you about to lose, Mitchell Trubisky. You're about to lose, son, brother.
All right, so the last non-AFC North game that we have this week is between the Seattle Seahawks and Carson Wentz's trash ass.
Seahawks,
yep, I agree.
Just Seahawks.
The Eagles are bad, and the Seahawks are not bad. The Seahawks obviously are not perfect. They have their flaws, but the Eagles are bad.
Hot take alert.
What?
This is going to be Carson Wentz's last game as an Eagle.
Start. So? Why?
I think he'll get benched.
Don't think they'll let him finish out the season?
I mean, like you got to start the kid eventually, right?
I mean, I guess, but I don't think they were ever necessarily planning on starting him.
Yeah, but they also wasn't planning on being this bad.
That's true.
Like,
I don't know. My thought process is, you've got the absolute worst division in football. And
Yeah.
at worst, you're going to be like a half game behind first place.
Yeah.
After this is over. So, believe it or not, the Eagles are in the middle of the playoff hunt, which sounds insane to say, but they are. So, do
Yeah.
you really like bench your quarterback for life in the middle of a playoff hunt? I don't know. I think they would give Carson Wentz till the end of the year, even if he's
the
playing.
Dolphins did it. I
Yeah,
don't know, man.
But that was because they got the quarterback of the future. They didn't take Jalen
That's
Hurts
true.
expecting him to be the quarterback of the future. They thought Carson Wentz was the quarterback of the future.
I mean, who knows, man? I mean, like, I don't know what's going on in those practices in Philadelphia. I don't know what those coaches are thinking, but I know they gotta be thinking that Carson Wentz isn't. You know, I don't know. Like that pick on Sione Takitaki was pretty bad, and he has not looked good at all this season at all.
No, he really hasn't.
Like there haven't really been a game where you can point and go like, well, he had a good game that game. No, he haven't had a good game all season.
Well,
So,
he had a good comeback against my Bengals.
Yeah.
But that's the Bengals defense. So
I don't know, man. Look, maybe he might not get benched this game, but I do think he's gonna be benched before the end of the season, though.
Maybe.
We'll see.
So anyway, that's pretty much it for the non-AFC North games. So let's get into the rest of these games. I guess let's the most interesting, but also the most interesting of these three games, but not a game that involves either team that this podcast is about, is the Ravens and Steelers. So we already talked pretty extensively about this game on the podcast, but why don't you give me your thoughts on who you think will come out with the win, Thomas?
I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I still think the Steelers is a better matchup against the Ravens. I just think the Steelers are going to be able to. The Steelers have faced RG3 before multiple times, so they know how he plays. So I'm going to go with the Steelers and that defense and that motivation over the Ravens.
All right. Disagree. I'm actually going to pick the Baltimore Ravens in a pretty substantial upset. And as much as people are crying about Lamar Jackson missing the game, and they're like, "Oh, well, this is terrible because Lamar is missing it because of COVID, and this is a travesty." But I think it's actually going to do the Ravens some good because teams have not been preparing for RG3 this year. They've been preparing for Lamar Jackson. And while RG3 is a very, very, very similar quarterback to Lamar Jackson, and that sort of works out in his favor because they don't have to make a lot of offensive adjustments to play RG3, he does have some different skill sets. And I think playing around the rest of the Ravens starters is going to be a boost for RG3 to play against the Steelers team that, quite frankly, has not shown me all year that they are worthy of the undefeated record that they have this year. And I don't see the Steelers sweeping the division this year. And I mean, I know they got a game left against the Browns, but still.
And the Bengals, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
they got a game against us and against the Bengals.
Okay, but like, come on. The Bengals aren't going to win that game at this point. I thought we had a chance.
Don't sleep on Brandon Allen, guys.
Okay.
I'll keep on saying that.
Anyway, point is on this game, I don't see the Steelers. I don't know. I don't see the Ravens taking enough of a step down, especially the way Lamar Jackson's been playing. I don't see the Ravens taking enough of a step down with RG3 as opposed to Lamar Jackson that it's really going to affect much in this game. And I think it might also be kind of a boost because it'd be one of those kind of things where, teams haven't been preparing for RG3 all season. So I don't know. I mean, I could totally see a scenario where the Steelers run away with the game because RG3 just isn't any good. But I don't know. I think this is potentially one of those games where it can kind of be. I think the Ravens can kind of come out and surprise a lot of people with a lot better performance than people are expecting out of them without their starting quarterback.
I can see that.
Give me the Ravens in this game.
I can see that. I respect that. I respect that. I'm sticking with the Steelers though. Let's end the Ravens. Like as much as I hate the Steelers, this is an opportunity to end the Ravens.
Look,
How
I wanna end this-
exciting!
I mean, I don't like the Ravens, but I would rather end the Steelers personally. But if I'm just talking about what I genuinely think is going to happen, I genuinely think that people are not going to. I genuinely think the Ravens are going to play a lot better than people are expecting. Does that mean they're going to win? I don't know, but I do know that I don't trust the Steelers with the way that they've been playing against good teams. And the Ravens they're not a great team, but they're a good team. And I don't think they're much worse of a team with RG3 than they have been with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Sorry. So I'm gonna go. So I agree. So I disagree. I'm gonna go with the Steelers. We want to see what happens. But let's hope the Ravens lose, because if the Ravens lose this week, then oh man, they play the Browns in 3 weeks. I cannot wait.
Yep.
All right.
That's good. That's going to be a critical game, well, regardless of if they win this game or not.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that.
So anyway, speaking of the Browns, they are playing the Jaguars, and the only interesting thing about this game is what we already talked about on the podcast, in that maybe potentially a trap game. Probably not, but maybe. Is it? I don't know, Thomas. Who's going to win this game?
I mean, there are a lot of good players on the Browns COVID list. But I just think that this is going to be an opportunity for Baker Mayfield to really showcase talent. But also, I think the thing is about the Browns that is scary for the rest of the league and everybody else that's on their schedule is going to help them beat anybody they play. Is their running backs are getting in rhythm. Both of them, Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, are getting in rhythm, and they are going to destroy that Jaguars defense. And I think it's going to help set up Baker Mayfield in a play action, which he's getting really good at running. I think Baker Mayfield is going to look really good in that play action. And if the Browns get in that 4-minute offense in the fourth quarter, is over. So as long as the Browns get in the 4-minute offense in the fourth quarter, the game's over. And they've done a really great job of getting teams in that 4-minute offense in that fourth quarter. So I'm going to go with I'm going to stick with the Browns.
All right. I as much as I'm talking about this potential trap game narrative, I agree. I think the Browns are going to win. The Jaguars are just a very, very bad team. And Mike Glennon is starting. So, I mean, what else?
Mike Glennon, oh my God. Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you up. The dog's sleeping right here. And I just woke her up. She looked at me like, what the hell? Like, look at her. She's all sleeping.
She's like, leave me alone. I want to sleep. All right,
so
final game. We got the New York Giants traveling to Cincinnati to play, I think, the Bengals. I'm not sure. They sure don't look like the Bengals team that I know.
I'm actually going to go with the Bengals.
Wow.
I'm going to go with the Bengals. Look, man. I've been saying that the Bengals have had a run in them this whole season. I know Joe Burrow's out, but Brandon Allen got some talent, man. And you talk about a team not taking the players seriously. I don't think the Giants are going to take the Bengals seriously at all, because I don't think the Giants are a competent team. You know, Adam Gase is their coach. I'm sorry, not Adam Gase. Who's their coach?
Joe Judge.
Joe. Are the Giants?
Joe Judge.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Joe Judge is their coach. I just haven't really seen any competency out of the Giants all year, and just because they're in contention of winning the NFC East doesn't mean that they're a good team at all. And they're a team that could let a backup third-string quarterback defeat them. Brandon Allen has talent. You know, we've seen it last year as a Browns fan. I've seen it last year. That kid can run. That kid got an arm on him.
He had a good game against you guys. That's the only good game.
He had a great game.
But he had a good game against you guys.
Teams that are on the fringe, it's almost the exact same opponent. Teams that are on the fringe, they're trying to prove themselves, second-year quarterback. I am talking myself into Brandon Allen. I am buying into the Brandon Allen hype, ladies and gentlemen.
The
Give me
Brandon
Brandon
Allen
Allen.
hype created by Thomas.
You're going against the NFC East team. You're going against the
You know what?
NFC
We
East
tied the
team.
Eagles. We lost to the football team.
Well, yeah, but then I mean, to your defense, though, like your team is probably traumatized.
Well, yeah, that's fair. We were on pace to beat Washington, and then Joe Burrow died, and then we just kind of forgot how to play football from there. It like fairly. I mean, like I would have probably forgot how to play
I would have wanted to play
if I
after
watched
that. Like if I was in the game, I would want to play. I'd be like, yeah, coach, I don't want to play anymore. I'm good.
This is bad. This is a bad thing. Bad things are happening.
But yeah, man, I'm buying into Brandon Allen hype.
All right, so listen. Brandon Allen, man, like I said on the podcast, he's got a strong arm. He's mobile. He's, maybe not the most accurate quarterback in the world, but he can. I don't know if special is the right word, but he can make some things happen at points, and he is by far and away way better option to put at in Joe Burrow's place at quarterback than Ryan Finley, who might be the worst quarterback the Bengals have ever had. And we're going back to some names like, I mean, I was talking to my dad, I think yesterday or something like that, and he was like, well, I think David Klingler and Achilles Smith were worse. And I'm like, they were starters, Dad. Ryan Finley's literally put up the worst performances we've ever seen out of quarterbacks from a statistical standpoint, and he's not starting. He's like this. I mean, I don't want to I can't imagine Ryan Finley would ever watch this, but by some chance, I don't want to sit here and just like shit on the guy mercilessly because I mean, he's still a human being, and I wish the best for him as a human being, but he is not a good NFL quarterback. He at least has not shown that he's a good NFL quarterback, and Brandon Allen has at least shown that he has potential. So I will say I am a little interested at least to see what Brandon Allen can do. In addition to that, the Bengals have been really emphasizing the need to get their pass rush going. And what better team to do that than a New York Giants team that already has a really struggling offensive line and just fired their offensive line coach because he got into a fist fight with the head coach. That happened, by the way. So I don't know. It seems like from a matchup perspective, things are really starting to line up for the Bengals to, I don't know, maybe. No, I think you're insane. I think the Giants are going to win this game.
Man, the Giants is a shit franchise, man.
Well, they are, but the Bengals are pretty bad too.
East,
so
the NFC East is such a shit division. Like nothing but shit. The Washington football team is probably going to win that division.
They probably are, and they very well might win at 5-11.
Man, what if just hypothetical? Nah, I'm not throwing that theory out there. Never mind, because I got to do a race, and I'm not trying to get into that.
There is a very real world that exists right now where a 5-11 team goes to the playoffs, and there is a very realistic scenario where a 6-10 team goes to the playoffs this year. It's actually I think more likely right now that the NFC East sends a 6-10 team than definitely than a winning team, because it would literally the only way the NFC East sends a winning team to the playoffs this year is if the Giants, the football team, or the Eagles win all of the rest of their games. The Cowboys have actually already lost 8 games, so they can't even get to a winning record this year. But literally, it would require the Giants, the football team, or the Eagles winning every single game the entire rest of the way for them to send a winning team to the playoffs this year. They're already guaranteed to send a 500 or below team to the playoffs just by dint of sheer statistics. But it's most likely going to be a 6-10 team, and it could be a 5-11 team.
What a horrible conference or division. Sorry.
What a trash heap.
Trash. You're playing against a MAC team, y'all. Y'all playing against a MAC team. Y'all can beat them. Y'all can beat them.
Yeah, but we might also be a MAC team. That's my point.
Well, Brandon Allen, he played for Louisiana Lafayette. I think that's like Conference USA or something like that. So I believe in you, Brandon Allen. Maybe it look like a genius, Brandon Allen.
Right.
I'm not even a Bengals fan here. I'm not even a Bengals fan here.
No, but you seem particularly interested in. By the way, Brandon Allen played at Arkansas.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like University of Arkansas?
Yeah, the Arkansas Razorbacks. Which is kind of surprising to me because like that's a notable school. Like I mean, he was a 6th round draft pick.
All right, now I really believe in him. Now I really believe in him. Yeah, you know what? Give me the Bengals, man. I'm starting the Brandon Allen fan club. Where's my
I mean, okay, but Ryan Finley was a 4th round draft pick and he played at NC State, so.
But like, what the hell is NC State though? Like, it's
about
like
the same thing as Arkansas, to be honest with you.
Nah, not really, because Arkansas is an SEC school. NC State is like the 4th school in North Carolina.
But how many great quarterbacks come from the SEC? Like, there's Joe Burrow.
I mean, Cam Newton wasn't bad.
Who did he play for? He played for Clemson, right?
Auburn.
Oh yeah, they are SEC, aren't they?
Yeah. Off the top of my head, I just can't think of. Yeah, a few. Yeah.
Yes, okay, so you're right. They've been, but I mean, really, for the most part, at least as far as modern quarterbacks go, most quarterbacks are not coming because, like, you know, when I think SEC quarterbacks, I'm thinking like AJ McCarron. I'm thinking like Randall Cobb. By the way, was an SEC quarterback.
So was he?
Yeah, from the Kentucky Wildcats.
That's great.
I remember thinking he was awful. I remember thinking like, you know, man, when this guy plays wide receiver, he's pretty all right. But like, we have no chance when he's in at quarterback. What is happening?
I'm gonna look up his highlights later. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with my theory. I'm sticking with the Bengals. I think Brandon Allen's gonna have a good game. By the way, when Brandon Allen have this great game, don't y'all come running to me.
You know what?
Allen.
If Brandon Allen has a great game and the Bengals win, I will come on this podcast and I will give you all the props and all the credit I can possibly muster that you called it. But you know what? Call me the, you know, depressed going through however many stages of grief there are, Bengals fan, dealing with just like complete disillusionment with my team right now. But I do not see any scenario. I think we could potentially go winless the rest of the season. And I hate saying that, but I think it's possible. And honestly, if we lose to the Giants, I think it's a lot more possible than that. But I'm not saying we can't beat the Giants. I'm saying I would be more willing to believe that we're not going to beat the Giants.
We'll see.
All right. I think that's going to wrap it up for predictions, though. This week we actually we have a pretty substantial difference in certain games, like Thomas predicting the Steelers, predicting the Bengals. Looks like he's predicting the Packers, the Patriots, right? You picked the Patriots over the Cardinals.
Yep, I just petted the dog while she was sleeping, and she just jumped at me. So there's that. So I know not to pet her while she's sleeping. Other than that, she's great.
That's probably not a good idea. And also Thomas picking the Titans over the Colts. Those are the games that we disagree on this week. So I'm either going to catch up, not catch up because I'm still pretty far behind, but I'm either going to make a significant dent in that lead of Thomas, or it's going to become insurmountable after this week.
It's going to be a fun week of football.
It's going to be interesting to watch, I think. But, you know, like I said, everybody, thanks for listening. look forward to the predictions recap after the game, after all the games are played. We'll probably be recording that on. We're probably going to be recording that late this week because the Steelers and Ravens play on Tuesday. We want to get this, taken care of. We want to get that taken care of after the games are already played, so we can actually talk about all the games. And that game in particular is a really exciting one to talk about. The next episode of the podcast will probably be coming out before that, but the predictions episode will probably be coming out after that. And actually, Thomas, we were talking about doing a live stream, right? For the
we
game.
are. There is a possibility of us doing a live stream, and hopefully, we could probably, if we do a live stream again, we might even think about bringing somebody as a guest. So we want to get that set up. I'm pretty excited about it. Me and Kyle are going to talk about it later, and I can't wait. It's something I really want to do. So hopefully we're able to make it happen. It's not written in stone yet, but there is a likely chance that we will live stream during the game Tuesday. Now we can't actually film the game, but we can film ourselves watching the game. So we might do that Tuesday. Yeah. So saddle up, guys. It's going to be some Tuesday night football.
Are you ready for some football?
I have a lot of ideas. If y'all, by the way, if y'all watch, if we do the live stream, we are doing a drinking game during the live stream. So
get more than one can of beer.
Yeah, if you watch our live stream, get a beer because we don't do some drinking games. Get a lot of beers because I want you to get drunk while you're listening to me, while you're watching the Steelers manhandle the Ravens.
That sounds good to me.
Okay, we can just make our own drinking game. We'll figure out the rules of the drinking game later. Anyway,
right. But
it's
anyway,
a possibility.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week for the predictions. And Who Dey?
Go Browns!